Okay, moving on to one of my favorite things, effects. I do love special effects and graphic styles. We get into it in a lot more detail in later chapters, but for now, we are going to learn how to distort objects with different effects. These effects that we're going to do are live effects, so ultimately you can edit the effect later or remove it altogether in the appearance panel. So with our selection tool, if I gotta move, actually I'm just gonna zoom out. I'm gonna pick one of these flowers. I will start with this one on the left, doesn't matter which one you pick, and then I'm gonna zoom in so we can see it a little bit better. I'm going to double click because it's a group, you can see that up here. I'm gonna double click to enter isolation mode where I'm only targeting this one flower. And from here, I'm going to click to select this large orange circle. From here, I'm going to come over to our properties panel, and I'm going to choose the FX button over here in the appearance section, and it says choose an effect. Again, we have Illustrator effects and Photoshop effects. Ignore these for now. If you can do what you're trying to do in the Illustrator effects, do it there. The reason is these stay as vectors. Down here, it has to turn them into rasters or pixels that cannot be changed. So from this top section, we're going to come to Distort and Transform, and you can see there's some pretty cool things. We're going to do Pucker and Bloat. And here's our window that pops up. Turn on your preview so you can see what's going to happen and pull this slider one extreme to the other. We're going to bloat it or we're going to pucker it. Okay, this is crazy, right? We thought we had a circle, but all of a sudden we can have a diamond or a spiky star or a weird, I don't even know what that is, but it's kind of fun. What we want to end up with is a value of about 35%, just so we get one of these the same. So positive 35%, and that looks like a happy little flower, doesn't it? Much easier than drawing it out another way. We're happy with that, we say okay. So because these are live, again, we can eventually work with them in the appearance panel that we'll learn about later. We want to get out of isolation mode, so we're either going to double click or we're going to hit the escape key on our keyboard to get out of that. All right, we need to find the days per year flags. I'm going to zoom out so I can start to find them. Here they are right here. The days per year flags. We're going to click to select this top flag, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So here's our top flag. It's basically a rectangle with a bit of a triangle cut out of it, or using the pen tool, they maybe made this originally, but either way, we know how to make that, and it's pretty easy. So with this top flag shape selected, we're going to choose the Effect button again, and we are going to choose Distort and Transform, but this time we're going to choose Twist. And again, we get a pop-up window, and again, a preview is on. And we're going to change the angle to 20%, hit Tab, and that shows us a preview of what it did. So it gave us a wavy line. Your original piece is still here. Do you see how this is straight, triangle, triangle, straight? This live effect can be changed at any time. It's not like you redrew the anchor points to make this a rounded thing. So that's what makes it kind of cool. All right. We then can say, okay, we're happy with that. It looks like it's blowing in the wind. We're going to click on the banner below, and then we're going to shift click to select all of these remaining banners. So all 4 of them are selected at once. We're going to go up to our effect menu, and the same idea, the last one you did is going to be at the top, and we're going to redo it basically. So apply that same twist. And if we click that, look at that. They all have that same 20% twist. I like that. I think that's cool. You should be clapping at home right now. This is quite cool. All right. Oh boy. Click to deselect that. And we'll move on to the free transform tool. We've been in free transform using a keyboard shortcut, but there's actually a tool, a multi-purpose tool, that allows us to do a lot of these things at once. The other cool thing about this tool is that it's touch enabled. So if you're working on a touch screen laptop or an iPad, you can pinch and zoom out and twist to rotate using this tool. It's touch enabled. All right, we need to find another part here. I'm going to back out. And what we're looking for now is percent of year. Here it is, way over here. With our selection tool, let's click to select the shape labeled east west. So I'm going to select that and zoom in. So we can see that this is 2 pieces and maybe even more because the fonts are actually outlined. It's not type, it's an outline, and it is indeed a group. If we look up here at the top right, we see that. So we need to add this free transform tool to our toolbar. It's probably not here. I guess it wouldn't hurt to double check for it, but it's not here, so I don't think it's here at all. So when you want to add a tool that doesn't exist, you come down to these 3 dots. And from here, we need to find the free transform tool. So we've got symbols. Woo. Free transform, here it is. This is the tool that we want to add. We are going to drag it on to the toolbar and add it. We're not going to nest it in anything, we're going to add it. So I'm just going to bring it up to this zone, and when I get a space in between them, I'm going to let go. So there's my free transform tool, nothing nested under it. While we're here shopping for cool things that we don't already have, we're going to find this puppet warp tool, and we're going to basically dock that into the tool we just had. So drag this one up, and when the one that we just did, the free transform, is highlighted, let go. Now those tools are nested together. And the one that we're going to use first is the free transform. So that should be our active tool. Then we can be done with this floating window. So we can hit escape and it should go away. With the free transform selected, we get this new little floating window right here. And we have things in here that are constrain, free transform, perspective distort, and free distort. So we have some options within here. By default, this free transform tool that we're using allows us to move, shear, rotate, and scale objects. With this selected, we are going to choose the perspective distort, this one right here, as our option. And we're going to turn our smart guides off for a moment so they don't bother us. So under view, we're going to turn off the smart guides. Command U would toggle them off. We're still in this tool. We're going to move our cursor over the lower right bounding box. So here's our bounding box, lower right. And when we get it there, our cursor changes into this weird perspective distort symbol. From here, we're going to drag down a little until it looks something like this. I don't know, I'm probably too far, but notice how it just made this end bigger. So this gives us a sense of 3 dimensions. This is closer to us, this end is going away from us. It's smaller back here. We're going to touch the Command key to temporarily switch into our excuse me, selection tool, and we're going to select this other shape down here, the north-south one, and then we're going to let go of the Command key, and that puts us right back into free transform. We didn't need to switch our tools. Anytime you're using any tool, if you hold down Command, it will temporarily switch to the selection tool. And when you let go of Command, it will go back to whatever you were using. So with the north and south option, we're going to drag on this lower left point and make it bigger. So again, this is the end closest to us. This is the end going away. And from here we can turn our smart guides back on and we can save our file. And this is through page 160. And we'll stop here and go to our next video.